Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dragon's Library. Today we are going to be talking about a new movie called Suzume. It is a recent anime release that I got to see in theaters. Hopefully by the time this review goes out, it will still be in theaters for you to go see, because I actually am probably going to recommend you go check this one out. So with all that said and done, let's get into it. Suzume is an anime fantasy adventure film, I guess is the best way to describe it. There was that pause there. I know there was a pause. It's because this is a hard movie to pin down just on a quick, pithy definition. However, it does have a pretty good name attached to it, and that is because it is both written and directed by Makoto Shinkai. For those of you who know a lot about anime movies, you probably know him as the person behind 2016's Your Name and 2019's Weathering with You. Both of them were sort of fantasy, modern-day romance stories. And while Suzume has some romance elements to it, I would say it's more heavily in just like a sort of coming-of-age drama. All in all, it's a very interesting film, and let's go ahead and get into the plot. So, Suzume is a 17-year-old high school girl. She lived in Kyushu with her aunt. Her parents died in a disaster a long time ago, so she lives with her aunt now. And she is going to school one day, and she's this strange guy, a college student, heading towards some old ruins. She asks her, if there are any old ruins around here. She says yes. He says he's looking for a door, and she gets curious and goes after him. When she goes there, though, she's not able to find him. However, she does find a strange door in this abandoned part of town. However, upon opening the door, she sees it leads to some starry-filled field in the middle of nowhere. It's actually a really cool effect. The animation really sells this part. Essentially, she finds the door but can't get in. Then she finds a small talisman nearby that when she removes it, turns into a cat and runs away. She ends up heading back to school because she's so freaked out by the experience, but then earthquakes start and she ends up seeing a column of smoke that no one else notices, so she runs back. Upon returning, she sees that a giant pillar of magic-looking smoke is pouring out of there, shaped into some kind of giant worm thing that's causing earthquakes that no one else can see. So she tries to help the guy, who she finds trying to close the door, help close it. He tells her, after they successfully do so, that it's some kind of supernatural disaster-causing monster that his family is in charge of keeping in check. The cat was apparently a talisman keeping it in place. And upon finding the little thing, it turns him into a chair, literally. He can move around, but he's like one of the chairs from Beauty and the Beast, but it's like a little kid's toddler chair, so it's kind of funny. And then runs off. Since he's in charge of keeping the doors in check, without him at his post, more and more doors are going to open more and more frequently. So Suzume and the guy, Soda, end up going on a big road trip across Japan to all these forgotten places while trying to hunt down the cat, whose name is Daijin. Along the way, she encounters many different people, goes to various different locations, and learns more about herself and comes to terms with the life she's lived. All in all, it's a very interesting piece. And although the story is actually pretty strong, I would say the overall plot is probably slightly weaker than Your Name or Weathering with You. It doesn't tie together as neatly, which is fine. This is a messy story. But I would say that I think, although I liked this story more, I think that the narrative and script of Your Name is definitely tighter. Your Name is probably still Makoto Shinkai's best work. Now, when you're talking about a Makoto Shinkai joint, you gotta talk about the animation, because why the hell are we talking about anything else right now? And as usual, it is gorgeous. Like, seriously, I think the script is a little messy at times. The pacing can be a bit off, but this story has some of the most beautiful animation I've seen in a long time. Like, this is some primo stuff. This is what you go to anime movies for, because they know how to push the boundary of 2D animation. And there is some CG, but it's not much, and it's some of the better looking anime CG. This is like Demon Slayer CG. This isn't what you'd see in some random one-off anime. In addition, I do feel like the movie has a good flow to it. The whole story is jumping from location to location, and it's basically this big old road trip across Japan, so they really get to play with a lot of different areas. They have one scene in an amusement park, another on the side of the road, one set in the middle of Tokyo. There are a lot of different sights to see, people to meet, and it's this really interesting journey of a girl in an animated chair hitchhiking across Japan as they try to stop a supernatural disaster. I will also say that I kind of called the ending. There's some foreshadowing over exactly what happened to Suzume as a kid, that I kind of called 100%. I'm not going to say what it is, but like, okay, let's put it this way. I'll tell you what happens in the first few minutes of the movie. We see Suzume wandering through the Ever After, the weird place where the doors seem to lead to that nobody can really get into. When you go through them, you just end up on the other side despite seeing this place. And we see her there. She's wandering about as a little kid, lost and alone after her mom died. And then she sees someone who looks a lot like her mom, who offers her the chair that eventually gets fused with Soda's soul. And you're just like, if you've seen this kind of scene before, you already know exactly what's happening, and you're 100% correct. This is full-on TV tropes level stuff right here. I'm not going to say what it is, because I know a lot of people don't watch as much media as I do, so it might not be immediate obvious, but if you've watched enough anime, I feel like you can guess what's happening here, and if you guess it, it's probably right. So, let's just leave it at that. Aside from that, the only other standout feature I'd say is both the directing and the music. It's Makoto Shinkai. The guy knows how to shoot an animated movie. He knows exactly what he's doing. It looks gorgeous. Seriously, I keep saying this, but the animation looks so good. There was the beautiful Ever After place that the doors lead to. Seriously, that every scene in the other world looks beautiful. Like, gorgeous. There's this huge, open, galaxy-spanning starlight thing in the sky. There's this beautiful rundown town with like boats, decrepit boats on top of buildings, and it just looks so realistic and gorgeous, and I love it. This movie actually caught my eye as a trailer before several of the movies I've been going to lately. And I was immediately like, I've got to see this. This looks so good. And when I saw Makoto Shinkai's name, look, I'm not exactly a big romance person, so the fact that this was advertised more of like a sort of coming-of-age road trip adventure was way more my speed. And despite thinking Your Name is a superior film in objective terms, I actually liked Suzume more. So if you like Makoto Shinkai stuff or thought his stuff looks neat but aren't a big romance person, I would say you should check this out because it actually is a very nice film, and I really, really did like it. In addition to that, we also have the music. Oh my god, this score. So the music is by Radlips and Kazuma Jinopchi. Sorry, my Japanese is horrible. And they nail it. This music score is so good. Like, the sweeping orchestra at some points just feels so amazing. It always manages to pierce the exact tone you want for the scenes it's in. The music like made some of the scenes in the other world. That quiet track that plays, oh god, it sounds so good. It looks good, sounds good. The script is really good, even if it's not as good as I know Makoto Shinkai could write. It's not his best work, but it's definitely up there. In conclusion, Suzume is an all-around, objectively good film that I think has a lot of emotion and heart behind it. Makoto Shinkai, you have not let me down so far, and I think you are deserving of way more attention. I talked to some other people, and like no one else around me really watches a lot of anime movies, so nobody knows who he is. And I'm going to try and convince some other people to go see it, because this is just a really good movie. It deserves more attention. I know anime movies are only in theaters for a limited time. I know I've been falling behind on my reviews, but if it's still in theaters around you, go see this. It is totally worth a watch. And I was going to give this a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because I think this really deserves that score. I think Makoto Shinkai's work has always met a certain bar of quality that most other movies just cannot hope to match, and I'm really impressed by his work again. So, with all that said and done, let's move on to the announcements. Now, in the announcement section, I do want to preface this. I know I haven't uploaded in like a week. There have been some issues. I was on call the week before, and then the weekend I couldn't really do much, and then oh god, I had some microphone issues, so I had to replace my microphone. I've been getting used to it a little bit, and then I've just been tired, and I'm hoping to get this out on Saturday. I'm recording it on Friday, but I'm not sure if I will. I'm going to try and get as many videos as I can, because I have a lot of stuff piling up at the moment. So there might be like a video every like other day for the next week or so, if I can do that, if I can really buckle down and get myself together, but I won't say it's guaranteed, but I will say I hope I can do it because I really do want to get some stuff. I am going to be working on the video for Hi-Fi Rush. I have some footage now, so I'm going to start working on that, writing my script up. In addition, I am finished with the Battle of Medicine Rocks. I'm reading through the Dragon's Promise again to get my head back in it, so I'm working on both of those videos in the future, and I will be going to see the movie Renfield. It's that comedy Dracula movie sometime soon, so look forward to all that in the near future. Moving on from there, we have the subscribe orb. Hey everybody, look at the subscribe orb, isn't it pretty? So, with the subscribe orb, click on it, go to my channel, subscribe. Up here we have the videos I've released this year as a playlist, and also a video YouTube recommends, so check it out. Please watch some more of my stuff. Maybe you'll find some more things you like. See you next time. Bye.